Morrison, Tap Out Talk Tuesdays.
What's going on, everyone, from Tap Out MMA Talk? My name is Danny Podolsky, and I'm joined with El Jefe, Brandon Bohannon, set to make his pro debut on March 8th at Art of War Cage Fight 40, taking on Honest Abdullayev. Brandon, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me, Danny. Sawadee Kop. If you don't know what that means, that's a greeting in Thailand.
I got you, got you. And let me get right into that, too. You announced after your last fight that you were turning pro, but first, you went to Thailand for a while. What was training like down there, and how much, experience did you pick up?
Man, it was a crazy experience overall. I was able to fight twice out there.
Mhm.
First time fighting, I fought in a backyard, some random party. I fought. They had fights going on at a party, so I went in there and fought some dude in a boxing match. Second fight was official pro Thai fight in the stadium, and the training, just the atmosphere, everything that I was able to experience being over there, I feel as though it really helped me to come back home and be prepared to make that jump for a pro debut. I got the experience what elbows feels like on the face, kicks to the head, all before finally coming back here and making that jump. And so it was a good experience, man. I'm really grateful that I chose to do it that way.
Yeah, first of all, what gym were you at in Thailand? And then second of all, talk to me about what it's like the fight circuit. Talk to me about what it's like down there because I know it's kind of crazy. You mentioned fighting in a backyard. I know it's a lot more, I guess, unsanctioned, if you will. It's sort of just here's a
Yeah.
fight if you want to take it.
So shout out to the gym, City of Tongue. They took me in, man. They're like family over there. They really invested a lot of time into me and just the relationships you build with people. I was over there for 2 months, and all my training sessions were with one guy, all personal private training sessions, and you get really close to the trainers over there. It's kind of different than being back home. Back home we're so used to holding pads for each other. We'll go to the gym, we'll do our hour and a half, maybe class or two, and then people just go right home. When I was in Thailand, I would run in the morning. I'd do my laps at the park, which is down a block from the gym. I'd come back. I'm jumping on the tire for 10 minutes, kicking a bag, and then I'm getting right into pads. And my training sessions could be anywhere between like 2 to 3 hours.
Mm.
But the difference I noticed between training in Thailand and training back home is that those 2 to 3 hours aren't like rushed to hurry up and work out as hard as you can. I'm at the gym, I'm taking my time, I'm getting my work in. When I'm on pads, me and him are just flowing, like we will start at a low pace and then we build our intensity throughout the pad session. And yeah, man, it was a different experience than training back home. And the fight circuit over there, like just the way you get fights is different. There's no blood work. You're going to the gym and they'll get a text from somebody and they're like, yo, you want to fight this dude? That's how it happened with me. They just pulled out their phone after one training session and they were like, yo, you want to fight this guy? I looked at him hit pads for like a 10-second clip and I'm like, all right, I'll fight him. And you just you go there and you fight, bro. In Thailand, they fight every single day. Like when I was there, they had fights at the stadium every day for I believe like 3 months, every single day of the week. But it's part of their culture over there, like they're immersed in it. Like it's everyone has an uncle, a cousin, a dad. Like everyone over there has someone who trains and who knows how to fight. It's very different than being back home.
Yeah, I know certainly like obviously in Thailand it's known for being kind of a crazy circuit out there, but also like everyone who goes there, obviously that's the foundation of Muay Thai. And um I do want to ask about leg kicks because I know in Thailand that's sort of like they're known for their leg kicks out there. Talk to me
Yeah.
about that if you improve that skill at all.
So I would definitely say that my kicks are a lot harder than they were when I went out there. I went over there thinking I kind of knew how to kick, and then seeing the power in my kicks from day one to the time I left, night and day. And one thing I realized about kicking over there, the reason why a lot of the Thais are so strong is because they use their legs a lot more than we do over here in the States. They're always squatting. They run every single day. It's like if you're not this is a quote over there: "No run, no Muay Thai."
Mm.
So if you don't get up in the morning and you don't get your miles done, you're not fighting Muay Thai. And the reason why is because a lot of these foreigners they come over there and we come with a like a training mindset where we don't run as often. Like a lot of foreigners overseas over here, we don't really run like that. We'll do a cardio circuit on a bike, maybe like a few sprints, but to run every single day, we don't really do that. And when you go over there, you see the foreigners, they come and they try to get these fights, and they can't take two or three kicks. Two or three kicks into the fight's is about to be waved off, and it's because their legs aren't conditioned the same way the Thais are. Like you'll see a 5-year-old. I'm not lying. You see somebody who's 5 years old cracking pads, and it sounds louder than when I was kicking. I'm like, damn, what the but it's because they're so connected to their lower half. Like they're all playing soccer. I think it's different. Being back home in the States, like we don't really use our legs. Like even when we play sports, soccer, people look at soccer like it's kind of gay. I'm just going I'm going to say it, but I'm not saying that it is. But that's how it's portrayed over here. But yeah, over there, like their kicks are insane, bro. Like they kick hard. We seen this one dude had to be like 105. I say 105 to 115. The first kick he threw in the fight snapped this dude's arm clean off. Like his arm was dangling from the bone, and they had to just they called the fight.
Yeah.
And that type of power you don't really see over here. It's acquired for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, and I know you always say to me, I like to fight every single month, whether it's MMA, boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, all that. I'm sure that the culture there in Thailand of just fight, 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 I'm sure you fit in very well there.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I fought the one dude. I got him out of there. This was in the pro Thai fight. I got him out in the first round with the elbow, and a week later they were like, "Yo, do you want to fight next week?" I'm like, I kind of came. Like I got my two fights in. I got like a few weeks left, like about maybe 2 weeks left to be here. I think I'm just gonna chill. But yeah, like they're always trying to get you to fight. Like bro, anybody who over there who fights, they all have like 200, 300 fights, and they're in their mid 20s. They're like my age, and they have over 200 fights. It's crazy.
And my follow-up question on Thailand, outside of, training and all that, culturally, what was it like for you being in Thailand? What was your favorite thing about just being in the country?
I believe I would say the freedom. That was my first time like really being somewhere away by myself, like on my own. And I would just get on my bike and I'm just riding throughout the city, weaving in between traffic, getting to where I need to be. And at first when it was a little, I don't even want to say a little, it was a major culture shock coming from here, going over there. Things were like very different. Obviously the language, religion, and even like certain morals and things like that. Like I'm being from Philly, so I'm so used to like not leaving my shit anywhere because I'm worried, damn, I don't want this dude to steal my stuff. Or if I'm out late at night, I'm watching everybody around me, making sure like what's his intentions, what's he doing. And when you go over there, like you don't have to worry about a lot of those things. And it took me a while to like kind of let my guard down, but it also showed me that that kind of lifestyle should be normal. Like I shouldn't have to have my guard up everywhere I go all the time, and it's okay to relax a little bit. But that was like one of the main takeaways I got just from being over there. Like it's a lot safer and people are a lot nicer. So you say hello, like everyone says hello. Everyone's always talking to everybody. I could go to a restaurant and just sit down at a table with a stranger and we're just having dinner for an hour or two, just talking. And you do that in Philly, you're getting looked at like a weirdo. Somebody wants to fight you already. So it's real different.
Yeah, well, certainly I can speak to how it is here in Philly and always kind of keeping your guard up a little bit. But for you, transitioning back into MMA, you're taking this fight, Artwar cage fight in 40, fighting Anis Abdulloev. How did this fight with him come together? And have you gotten to watch any footage on him? If so, how do you feel about this matchup?
Yeah, so I was actually scheduled to fight him, I believe, maybe like my second amateur fight. I ended up getting injured, so it wasn't just smart to take the fight. But since then, I've always wanted to fight. I've always I talked to Mike. I was trying to get the fight still as an amateur over the summer. That didn't wind up happening. And so I know he's one of those wrestler guys, he's gonna shoot, he's gonna want to shoot, he's gonna want to take me down, he's gonna want to hold me. Kind of like Khabib style. But I'm here to represent USA wrestling. I'm tired of all these Russians taking over. I'm tired of everyone thinking that they're the best wrestlers. I'm here to represent USA wrestling, and that's what I'm going in the cage, bringing in there with me. But yeah, no, I think it's a good matchup, and I've been wanting it for a long time, like I said, and now I'm excited that we're doing it at pro because now I have a lot more weapons to use against him. As an amateur, it probably would have favored him a little bit better, just because of the short time limit in between the rounds. 3-minute rounds 9-minute fight. If we would have did it as in my second fight, it would have been 2-minute rounds, shin pads, no ground and pound. So I'm glad we're doing it now. I think it's a great matchup for me, and I'm really excited. Like I can't wait to showcase the things I've learned in Thailand and just the evolution of my game. I'm only getting better. I'm in the gym every day, improving and just sharpening my knife every single time. So I can't wait.
Yeah, and talk to me about, the difference between going from Amy to pro. Obviously, you mentioned the knees and elbows, the 3 minutes to 5 minute rounds. And for you, someone who just trained 2 months in Thailand, took some Thai fights, I know being able to use those weapons you mentioned, especially the elbows and knees, the 5 minute rounds, just talking about the difference between amateur and pro and how it plays to your benefit.
Yeah, so even being an amateur, I would always train throwing elbows and knees, kicks to the head, because in my mind I'm always preparing for when I have to go pro, for when I can use my weapons. I don't want to ever be put in a situation to where I can throw elbows and I'm not prepared and maybe he hits me with one and now I'm shook. So I've always kind of prepared myself to use my weapons. And I think the main difference from going between from amateur and straight to pro is a lot of guys don't prepare for that. They might come into it still with the amateur mindset, like I can relax here a little bit. I don't gotta worry about getting kneed in the face or I don't gotta worry about getting kicked in the head. And my mindset is always when I'm training in the gym is to just hurt my opponent. Like I'm not trying to hurt my training partners, but if I see an elbow that I could take, I'm gonna shadow it. If I see, even if we're doing jiu-jitsu, I don't care. If we're doing jiu-jitsu and somebody wrestles up to their feet, I'm shadowing my elbows, my knees, my kicks to the head, just because I'm programming my mind. So when I see these opportunities in the fight, I'm not hesitant to throw them. I can just let them go and trust that it's gonna work. So yeah, I think that's the biggest difference is just allowing my training to emulate or simulate my fight.
Yeah, and also for you, you were ultimately 7-1 as an amateur, and in between that, took so many other fights in different combat sports. Do you think you're gonna have an experience advantage over your opponent in this one?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I definitely feel like I'm gonna have the experience advantage. I'm sorry to have this come up real quick.
Oh, you're all
But
good.
yeah, I've boxed. I haven't had any official boxing on the books, but I've been boxing for a while. Um, a lot of like street YouTube boxing. I'm sure like plenty of guys seen that stuff. But even kickboxing, Muay Thai, been doing jiu-jitsu for over 10 years now. So I believe the skill advantage is going to be there. But I really feel like what separates me in this fight is my mindset. And I feel like a lot of guys don't have the mindset that I have when I go in there. I don't compete just to compete. I don't know why anybody else does it, but I know my why. And it doesn't matter what happens in the fight. I know I'm gonna bring the fight to him every second of my being while I'm in there. I'm trying to fight. I'm trying to take his head off. I want to hurt him. I want to get him out of there. And we're gonna see if he brings that mindset. We're gonna see who cracks first. But that's always my intention is to break my opponent. So we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, and I do want to ask too, turning pro in MMA, do you still plan to, before you get kind of deeper in the pro career, still take fights in either kickboxing, Muay Thai, grappling, whatever it may be?
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I'm trying to go back to Thailand this year. I want to rack up some more Thai fights. I still want to fight on the YouTube boxing. Nothing is changing. Now it's just, I guess I'm professional, whatever that means. I felt professional before I was professional, so it doesn't really change anything in my mind. Now I just get to get paid for being people up. But yeah, like I still want to compete in different aspects. I want to do like even some karate, taekwondo. Like I just want to learn, man. I'm a student of the game of martial arts. I love to learn. I love to improve upon things that I'm not good at yet. And so I look at so many different aspects of the field and I just want to get better at all of them. So and that means I have to go out and compete in those things. I can't say that I'm getting better at something if I can't go out and compete. And one of the big things about me is that I always feel like let's say there's somebody who does Muay Thai for 20 years or somebody who does Jiu-Jitsu for 20 years. I feel like I should be able to go to their sport and beat them and dominate at that field. No matter what it is, it doesn't matter what the field is. I want to go there and I want to dominate. I don't want to just be somebody who, oh yeah, I competed in a wrestling tournament, or yeah, I had one Muay Thai. Now I want to go there. I want to compete with the best in the world at the highest level. So that's just my mindset, though.
Yeah, I love the mindset. Switching gears a little bit, I gotta ask, talking about training at Martinez BJJ and just the culture you guys have down there.
Oh, bro, it's you've seen how it is, man. It's crazy. The boys, they're always in there working hard. I feel like Martinez is one of the toughest rooms in the area, if not the toughest. The amount of work we have in there is insane. The pressure, our style is like very like gritty. Just like it's you gotta be in there to really understand it. Like I go to other gyms and I'll roll with people and it's kind of like pretty jujitsu, guys attacking my legs and I'm laughing and just unwinding and doing shit like that. But you go to Martinez, you're getting some dog work. And growing up at that gym, like I've came up in that gym. I've been there for like 10 years now, and just growing up in that atmosphere, it made me who I am today. So now when I go in there and I compete against somebody, man, I don't care who's standing across from me. I'm treating him the same way as I treated the last guy. Like I'm gonna fuck this dude up. That's just my mindset. Like I'm gonna grind him out. I'm gonna make him quit mentally first, and then I'm gonna just take his body. I'm gonna just finish him. That's just how I'm thinking. But I believe a big part of that comes from Martinez. Like that's just anyone who competes from that gym, they all have a similar kind of style, and it's just grind you out, fuck you up.
Mhm. Yeah, well, certainly from, the bits of training I do there, I don't fight, but the bits of, just jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai class I've taken there, I can certainly relate to the, just the gritty sort of
Mm-hmm.
tight nature that's at Martinez. You talked about growing up at Martinez. Talk about your relationship with Will Martinez.
Man, he's been a mentor for me. Will has been there, since I've got there. I've came to Martinez. I believe I was 12 or 13. I started training when I was 12. I believe I came to Martinez when I was 13, and he's like a father figure to me. I've learned a lot from him throughout the years. He's also paved the way for Philadelphia martial arts. He's made a big impact on the scene. One that I don't even understand yet to this day because I'm still meeting people that like we could go to an event and I see some other old head that comes up, shakes his hand, and he's like, "Yeah, you know who that is?" And I'm like, "Damn!" Like they all admire Will, but it's because of the work that he's put in throughout the years. And I feel as though our gym doesn't really get the recognition, but at the end of the day, the work speaks for itself, and the quality of fighters and competitors that comes out of our gym really is a testament to his skill and his knowledge and everything he's done throughout the years. So I really do appreciate him a lot, even though I might not speak to it often. I don't tell him this often, but that's really he knows. He knows. At the end of the day, he knows that he did a good thing for Philly martial arts and the community.
And yeah, talk to me about, I have two questions. A, talk to me about just coming up through part of that Philadelphia scene. Sort of, I feel like it's a very much a growing scene in terms of definitely the success of martial arts that is coming out of Philadelphia. And then my other question off that, BKFC had a massive event at Wells Fargo. A lot of guys in Martinez fought there. A lot of big Philadelphia guys fought there. Was that a card that you were able to watch and something you looked at as like, I would want to get on that? And yeah, I guess those are sort of my two questions there.
Okay, so let me answer the first one. Yeah, coming up out of the Philly scene, I really believe that this is the toughest area to come out of when it comes to martial arts. Whether it's boxing, whether it's wrestling, MMA. The tri-state area, the Northeast area, especially Philadelphia, man, it's tough. Like there's a lot of talent in the area, and if you want to make a name for yourself, you really have to commit to the lifestyle and to training. And I believe I would say one thing too that this is just a side note, but my father really played a big role in this. Seeing his mindset, like my dad played sports, my dad played football and stuff like that, and the amount of dedication and love I seen this man put into his craft, I feel like I took that and I applied that to fighting. So now, like when I go out there and I fight somebody, um, the level of heart I seen in him, I know isn't me. So it doesn't matter who's standing across from me. Like I would see my dad go out there and fuck up giants, bro. And he's the littlest dude on the field. He's like a little taller than me, a little bit bigger, and he's going out there fucking up monsters on the football field. And just that level of heart and applying that to this sport, I believe that's what really separates me from a lot of these guys. But it's the area. The area is tough, and it creates a lot of tough fighters, a lot of tough people. And to separate yourself from that crowd, you gotta enter a different part of your spirit. And yeah, so I would say the Philadelphia area, you gotta be prepared. If you want to make it out of here in terms of fighting, man, you really gotta be balls deep in it, Pause. But yes. And to answer your second question about BKFC, yeah, I've seen a few of my homies fought in the card, Zed, Pat Brady. I've seen Johnny Garb fought on there too. And that is something I've actually wanted to do. One of my goals prior to even doing pro MMA, I've really wanted to make my pro debut with bare knuckle. And I went to the tryouts. I went to the tryouts back in I believe I want to say November was the tryouts, and that went pretty well. And so I'm not going to speak on anything yet, but there might be something coming up this year, and we'll just see what happens. I'm gonna take this fight serious though that I have coming up, and then we'll just see where things land with the bare knuckle. But I'm
Fair
ready though.
Fair enough. So possibly Brandon Bohannon and BKFC later in the year. We'll see. Brandon, I also want to ask, I talked to both Mike Kennedy and Lex Ledlow in the past couple of weeks, and something that they both said to me was we need to get Kyle Dawkins back in the UFC. Something I'm very much behind. Brandon, I want to get your opinion on that.
Listen, man, I would love to see it. Kyle is definitely one of the hardest workers in the room too. He's another big inspiration for me and for the team as well. He's done big things for MMA in the scene, and I think he could do it. His record since leaving the UFC, I believe it speaks for itself. I don't know what the UFC, what else more they want to see. Maybe another win, another finish. But I think it's possible. Nothing's impossible, and I believe he deserves it. But we'll see. We'll see what the UFC wants to do.
Yeah.
If not, though, I know Kyle could do anything that he wants with his mindset, and he'll be successful at it. So I got full faith in him.
Yeah, well, backing that one up, Kyle Dawkins 4-0 since leaving the UFC. He was 3-1 in the UFC. It was not like he was, 0-4 when they come from the UFC. So hopefully he gets back soon. But going back to yourself, talking about, fighting at Art of War, it's obviously the scene that you came up from, the scene where most Philadelphia fighters go to when they're starting out as amateurs. Talking about just fighting for Art of War and then also your relationship with the Bickings family.
Man, they've taken care of me since day one. Mike, Deb, and their whole team have really looked out for me. They've done a lot for me in terms of putting me out there and getting me solid fights, being able to build me up as a martial artist. And I'm really appreciative for Art of War and being able to make my pro debut with the same company that I started with. I feel as though it's only right. Like I said, they've done a lot for me. I got mad love for them. So yeah, I'm grateful for Art of War, and I can't wait to go out there and be able to put on another spectacular performance for all the Art of War fan base, for the team, for my family, and for everyone else out there. So it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, and making your pro debut, you're now the co-main event on that card.
Listen, man, ain't nothing new. That's all. Like it's new, but at the same time, like I'm just going in there to fight a man. Like all eyes are, no matter what fight you are on the card, every eye in the room is on you and that person. Whether it's you're the first fight of the night or whether you're the main event, and so no stress. I've been there. Like I felt more pressure fighting on the YouTube boxing on the Boxing Mafia show, being surrounded by fucking like, bro, it's a doghouse. Like I'm fighting in a phone booth and there's a million people surrounding me screaming. And I feel as though the pressure's on me because I'm an active competitor. So I can't lose to whoever this person is. But yeah, it's no pressure, man. I'm ready to go out there and perform. Like I already know if I fought overseas with people I don't know in my corner in the stadium, flying back here at home for the whatever number of time this is, it's gonna be a walk in the park. So I ain't stressing it.
And looking ahead, not to look past this fight coming up, but by the end of let's say 2025, what are sort of your long-term goals? And then also, let's say maybe 5 years from now, where do you hope Brandon Bohannon is in terms of your martial arts career?
Okay, so by the end of the year, overall goal is to get closer in my faith. Just continue strengthening my faith and be able to bring that into the cage with me or whatever I do in life. I just bring that at the front of what I do. And in terms of fighting, I would love to get some more MMA fights. I don't know how many. I still want to do Muay Thai, maybe a kickboxing. I want to get some boxing in too, man. Like I said, I don't have any official boxing fights yet, and I would love to get a boxing fight on my record. And I feel as though I could really just fuck somebody up in boxing. I love using my hands, bro. It's a different art, but I love it. I really got a deep love for boxing. I don't know if it's being from Philly or what it is, but just fighting with your hands, it's a different feeling than having kicks and takedowns and all that other stuff involved. And so yeah, I would love to do a few more fights, maybe bare knuckle if y'all want to get me on there. And yeah, I want to get back to Thailand too. I want to get back to Thailand. I want to take some of the boys out there from Martinez, Bucks Martial Arts. I want to take the teams out there with me, and I want to share some of that knowledge that I've got over there. I want to share that with the folks back home, and just continue to grow all around. My long term goal. This is kind of crazy, but my long term goal. I remember I stopped. I believe I stopped working when I was like 20 or 21. And I told my dad, I told him, I was like, look, if you could support me for the next couple of years, by 25, I'll be in the UFC. And I'm 23 now, 2 years away, and I know it can happen. I know I could 100% get the resume that I need and get that call. And so that's there, but I'm still just taking it one step at a time. So I'm looking long term, but at the same time, I know it's coming towards me. I don't need to keep chasing it. It's at this point, it's all coming towards me. I didn't know I was gonna be this deep into my career this early. I started fighting at 19. I'm 23 now. This is gonna be my 20th fight, which is crazy to me. Like that's a lot of experience in just a short amount of time. And on top of that, doing grappling tournaments, wrestling tournaments, and so I know that nothing is impossible. I just got to continue to just put my heart and soul into this, and all the rewards will make its way to me. So I'm just ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to go after all of it.
Awesome. Well, Brandon, I think those are some very solid goals by the end of the year and looking ahead. My final question for you, man. March 8th, Anas Abdullayev, Brandon Bohannon. Brandon, give me your official prediction for this fight.
So I'm not the creator, right? But what I'm gonna say, what I believe is gonna happen, I'm gonna get a finish. Now I'm not gonna tell you what round because I did that in Thailand and I fucked up the money, right? But I'm gonna just say I'm gonna get a finish. I want a knockout. I don't want to just go out there and get a decision my first pro fight. Even if I'm tearing his ass up all 3 rounds. No, 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 no. I want to finish. I want him to quit before me. I want him to either submit, tap that, or pause. Keep doing it. Yeah, but either that or I want to put him to sleep. And so one of those is gonna happen. That's what I feel like. That's my prediction. But I want to slice him up. I want to hurt him, and I want him to submit. So that's my prediction for the fight. We gonna see what happens. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, Brandon, I'm wishing you the best of luck. If there are any socials, promoters, whoever you want to shout out, the platform is yours, my friend.
Oh my guy. Okay, so all right, say no more. Um, I got one of them on right now. This is my brother's promotion or like his brand, Roadrunner. He sells all different types of merch, things like that. Good Works, they're a sponsor for me too. This bag is right here in the corner. He's helped me a lot. And Custom Toys, they're a company that works on cars and things like that. But one promotion outside of this I want to really give a little bit of light to is the Boxing Mafia platform, the YouTube boxing thing that I've been talking about throughout this whole time. I was able to gain a lot of experience being on that platform, traveling, and even that, like being able to experience what traveling is like before going pro. Because once you go pro, you go fight in the UFC. You're fighting overseas. You're never really fighting at home, so you got to sleep in another bed, a foreign bed. And so all of that plays a big factor into getting ready for being a professional. So, and they've shown a lot of love throughout the years. So thank you to the Boxing Mafia. Thank you to Martinez, my brother Zed, for helping me get ready for this camp. And all the homies back in Thailand. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Cop on cop. And we going to go get the job done.
Awesome. Guys, El Jefe is set for his pro MMA debut. He takes on Anas Abdullayev on March 8th at Art of War Cage Fight 40. You will not want to miss this fight. Brandon, thank you so much for taking the time, my friend.
Thank you, Danny. I appreciate you, brother.